Our guest tonight is TNA World Heavyweight Champion Drew Galloway. How you doing?
Oh, I am good. I'm jacked up my mind right now. I'm pre-workout. I just finished a little leg workout there just before I head off to the Evolve Wrestling show tonight, and I am buzzing to talk to you guys. I'm ready for some questions. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Well, let's get started then. On Sunday, June 12th, you take on Bobby Lashley for the TNA World title in a match that can only end with a knockout or tap out. What can fans expect from a match with this stipulation, and how have you prepared differently for this bout?
Well, certainly you can expect violence. For one, you've got myself. I pride myself in being, innovative in the ring, but also very hard-hitting, real and believable. And you've got Bobby Lashley, who is bigger than me, faster than me, and is legit as they come. Undefeated in Bellator. It's a unique situation, something I've enjoyed doing recently. It's really upped my game and forced me to be the underdog for once. So we have been beating the absolute crap out of each other. Like if you see some of those shots on TV and they look real, they're more than real. And this Sunday we're looking to take it to a different level, have people talking, really turn some heads. And Slammiversary is going to be a huge turning point for TNA in the way people look at the company. This is the new year of TNA, and it starts this Sunday.
Mike Chiari?
Well, as you mentioned, generally when someone goes up against Lashley, they're automatically an underdog from a storyline sense, especially with the MMA-inspired stipulation like the one you guys are going to have at Slammiversary. Do you enjoy playing that role, or are you more comfortable being the favorite and being the guy who's expected to win?
Honestly, I just like challenges. Like, no matter who I'm against, like in TNA and especially in the independent scene, I'm generally the bigger guy. The crowd reacts how they react. Like in obviously TNA, I'm a good guy, the main good guy right now, and Evolve in ICW in Scotland, I get a more negative reaction, but I always say what my character believes. In TNA is stand up, and that's I just want the fans to. Sorry, I just said a lot about pre-workout bugs in my head there. But I just always say what my character believes. I just want everybody. Like, could you repeat that question one more time? Sorry, I just had a little brain fart there.
No, it was just if you prefer to be the underdog or to be the guy who's considered the favorite going into the match.
There we go. Sorry, this pre-workout really throws me off. I shouldn't take it for interviews. Yeah, basically, I'm used to being the bigger guy, and I love a challenge every time. Be a high flyer, a technical guy, a brawler who's a little smaller. But with Bobby Lashley, it's really something just out there. Like he's, a different kind of animal. Everybody knows what he can do, inside professional wrestling ring and inside an octagon. And for me, I don't treat him like a pro wrestler. If you watch a Lashley match with a lot of guys, they treat it like a pro wrestling match, and it just looks like any old match. That's the way I would never treat him like that. I treat it like a fight. I treat it for what it is. I treat him with the respect he deserves, as a character and a real person. And I want it to be as believable as possible, and that's why I want those hits to look real. We're going to take it to another level. Jeff Hardy's in this show. Jeff Hardy's planning to steal the show, as he always does. I guarantee Drew Galloway and Bobby Lashley will steal this show.
Brandon Galvin?
We've been seeing a lot of segments from TNA recently produced outside of the ring. For example, your angle with Lashley at the gym, and we're big fans of that in wrestling. What are your thoughts on TNA's diversity and the freedom to produce those type of out-of-ring segments?
Yeah, I think it's added a unique element to the show. The great thing about wrestling, all across the board, be it TNA, Lucha Underground, NXT, Ring of Honor, everybody's just so different right now. I'm just so proud of the TNA product, especially over the past few months. We've got a few great storylines going on, which have really built and just not thrown away or did the match too early. Everyone's finding their character. And then the addition of these outside the ring segments, with myself and Bobby's training segments, with the Matt Hardy angle this week, has really got everyone talking. No matter what you think of it, the whole world is talking right now about Matt Hardy. And it just really brings something different to the show. And that's just a fantastic time to be a wrestling fan right now with everything that's going on.
You've been with Impact Wrestling for a year and a half now. Has the time with TNA thus far lived up to your expectations? And what are your goals with the company moving forward since you've already won the world title?
Well, I came in, I was told it was going to be Drew Galloway. And we're going to let you talk as Drew Galloway, wrestle as Drew Galloway. And they've stuck to the word times 1,000. They've let me go out there and just be myself, and everything has just evolved and evolved and evolved to the point I was lucky enough to win the world title, and it was very unexpected. I've told this story a few times. I'll tell it quickly. I was in Germany fighting on Friday, Scotland fighting on Saturday, Germany again on Sunday. Monday, messed up the traffic situation. I missed my flight. I spent $3,000 of my own money to make TV. I got there to a live TV, 4 p.m., 4 hours late, about to go on the air. Told I was winning the world title. It was all just, thrust at me at the last second, but that was obviously the ultimate goal. And the second you win the title, you don't get a second to think about it. You can't make a plan. All I want to do is sit down and think, what's going to make me different? How am I going to be different from EC3? How will I be different from Matt Hardy, Kurt Angle? And the way I'm different is I travel the world all the time. I'm the busiest wrestler in the world. I want to take that belt around the world because the first traveling world champion is Ric Flair, and I'm proud to be the TNA ambassador right now.
Mike Chiari?
TNA has seen an influx of talent lately with a lot of new signings, and the free agent market started to grow recently too, especially with WWE releasing a bunch of talent, guys like Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett and Damian Sandow. What are your thoughts on the prospects of TNA going after some of those guys, and who might you like to see the company sign?
Oh, anybody. Like the guys you just mentioned, a huge asset to any company. Obviously, Cody's started his thing right now with his list that's got people talking. Sandow's already got himself back out there, and I know Wade's kicking his feet up watching the European football or soccer championships right now. But I'm selfishly, I want my buddies there, but also there would be huge additions to the company. And the idea of myself and Wade tag teaming again, like we were the FCW tag team champions for a year, or facing each other across the ring, that'd be a pretty cool prospect to me.
Brandon Galvin?
A big topic of conversation recently has been the perception of different in-ring styles, matches, and the art of pro wrestling. Where do you stand on this? What does pro wrestling mean to you as somebody that was a fan and is now at the top of TNA?
Like I mentioned earlier, where I got a little bit brain fried from this pre-workout, and that's a huge thing for me. My hero's Bret Hart, and as I was a kid, I didn't never know why I was into Bret Hart. Everyone loved like Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, the colorful, larger-than-life characters, and I could never figure out why I was attracted to Bret. As a kid, I liked stories. I figured out as I got older the reason I was so into cheat code stories in the ring with his actions, and even as a kid, it's like reading a book or watching a cartoon or whatever. He was doing it with his moves in the ring, and I didn't realize as a kid I was drawn to that. And as I got older, I was drawn to those kind of wrestlers, like the guys who were considered, the great storytellers of the ring, and that's something I pride myself on. As I mentioned already, if it's a smaller flyer, it's a different story. If it's a technical guy, if it's a guy, who's like a brawler, or a guy like a Bobby Lashley, just everything that is just a blank canvas, an opportunity to tell your story. And it's the coolest art form to be in the planet, because you really do dictate people's emotions just by our actions in the ring. And it's beautiful. That's why I tell everybody, don't plan your bloody match, because you don't know how the crowd are going to react.
Well, after leaving WWE, you began working the independent scene again, Evolve, all the other major companies on the independent scene you've been working for. How is working the indies different this time around, and do you think the experience helped you regain some of the confidence that you may have lost after being underutilized by WWE for many years?
The difference was obviously before I got signed by WWE, as I was wrestling in Europe, and the scene wasn't what it is today. It was in its infant stages. Myself and about 5 other guys started this modern-day Scottish wrestling scene because there was nothing at the time. So we were really all just trying to help each other get better. There was one TV show, and Sheamus and I were the main guys on the show. So I can't really, compare it. I got signed straight from university in my last year when I was 21. But, like you say, go back to the independent scene. And, in my mind, I'm feeling confident. I was like, I know this business. I've been in it my whole life. And then I watch, some of the guys in the indies. I'll always get my finger on the pulse. I was like, I think I can hang with these guys. I said, I know I can hang with these guys, but my very first match, I get thrust right into with Chris Hero, is probably, the guys on the fire right now, most of all in the independent scene. I won the Evolve title. And I tore my hamstring, I think, in that match, and about 5 minutes into it, but I still managed to last 25 minutes and win the Evolve title. If you're top of the card, you're the champion in an Evolve card, if you see the kind of talent that's on that roster, the Ricochets, the Bassy Virginias, the Roderick Stroms, you better quickly learn how to wrestle in the independent scene or you're going to sink. So I like it that way. I like to dive into the deep end, and if I swim, it's on me. If I sink, it's on me. I just always want it on me.
Mike Chiari?
Well, you mentioned before that you've been defending your title overseas, and also this weekend yourself and EC3 are going to be representing TNA at the Evolve shows. As the face of the company, how important do you believe it is to spread the word about TNA by working with these other promotions? And what kinds of opportunities do you believe that doing so could potentially open up for yourself and TNA?
The thing is, we just don't know. We're literally in uncharted territory right now. Like I was with Evolve, as I say, that was my first match back in the Indies. I won the Evolve title. I took it around the world. I wanted more eyes on the company. We got more eyes on the company. I defended it in multiple countries. I put it on television, and then while I was champion, the WWE relationship happened. And people assumed, oh, Drew's going to be gone because the WWE thing's happening. And then, sure enough, I wasn't gone. I came back, and then Johnny Gargano, who's in NXT, myself, won the tag titles, the first ever Evolve tag team titles. So everybody was shocked again. Then I won the TNA World title. So suddenly you've got the TNA World Champion, somebody who's in NXT, the Evolve champions, and everyone's just wondering what is going on. And that's a great thing about 2016. Like anything can happen. They're letting us do our thing. We're obviously not going to offend WWE. We're not going to offend TNA. We're going to toe the line to give the fans the best possible product. And who knows what the limit is? The sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned. And tonight, I think we're going to pull some things out of the hat and get people talking there for a while now.
BG?
In recent interviews, you've mentioned how TNA has allowed you to be yourself. Can you further explain what you mean by that? What type of freedom do you have creatively in TNA? And has there ever been something that you wanted to do that you haven't been able to do yet that you could share with us?
Well, basically, what you see is what you get on the show. Like that, really is me. Like you'll hear it in my voice when I'm talking about wrestling. I get amped up. I get tongue-tied. I forget where I'm at. I jump all over the place. I just love this business. I'm so passionate about it. So many ideas come in my head at once. Obviously, in WWE, generally you're playing a role. It's more of a TV show. There's only so many, top spots available. And, you're going to play the character generally that they give you. That's just the nature of the beast, the way it works. And for TNA, they contacted me. It's all I've been doing in the Indies. It's like I was known big to John Gabor for a long time. And he told me straight up, I'm going to bring you in. You're going to be Drew Galloway. You're going to be yourself. I'm going to let you do your thing. The writers have provided me with great material. And they let me put it in my own words, which is so much easier for a talent to deliver when you're just given something and just take it and make it your own. And it really does give the optimal product. The best characters are just yourself or an extension, as we all know.
A huge thank you to Drew Galloway for coming on the show. Check out Drew stealing the show on Impact Wrestling every Tuesday on Pop TV and this Sunday at TNA Slammiversary on pay-per-view. Tell the fans where else they can support you.
You can support me all over the place. But first and foremost, I do want to thank you all for having me on. And just right now is a really cool time for the company. Obviously, we'll be getting bashed a little bit on the old social media. But over the past 4 months, I'd say, I've noticed a big turn, like heads turning. People are starting to talk positively about the show. Things are really happening in the company. Like people have really found their characters. The storylines are really at a boiling point. Slammiversary is going to be a huge turning point for the company. I urge everyone, no matter how you feel, if you know, you know. If you don't, give it a chance Sunday, because we're really going to turn some heads. Everyone's going to bring something completely different. And then we'll get the live show right after. We'll have you hooked. So just give it a shot. If you don't like it, I'll probably give you the money back myself. I believe in the product so much right now. So thank you all for having me.
No problem. And another big thank you to Drew Galloway. Good luck moving forward, sir.
Thank you, bro.